Hello, and welcome to today's webinar. Welcome to our 2024 ETiP Summer Webinar Series, English Language Teaching Approaches, Methods, and Techniques. Welcome, dear English teachers in Peru and teachers around the world. So today we have an amazing webinar, a great webinar, and the topic is teaching language skills and sub-skills with a great presenter, with a great speaker. He is Juan Valenzuela. But before that, I'm going to invite you to follow us on our network. Remember that we have our Facebook community, our WhatsApp, Telegram, YouTube, and TikTok. Okay, teachers, so join us, please. And you can have lots of resources for your English classes. Now, it's time to remember some instructions in order to participate in today's session. So please pay attention, teachers. Please remember that you have to type your questions in the comment section on YouTube. The answer to your questions and comments will be replied by our guest speaker at the end of the webinar in the question time section. And about the exit ticket, yeah, remember that with the exit ticket, you can register your attendance, yeah? When finishing the webinar, we will share a link for you to have access to the exit ticket, which will be available for 15 minutes. And now it's time to know our guest speaker. I don't know if Mrs. Carguavilca is here, our dear administrator. I guess she's not here. Maybe technical problems, but it's time to know our guest speaker. Now, please, he is, as I said, a great presenter. He's Juan Valenzuela, and the topic for today's webinar is teaching language skill and sub-skill. Mr. Valenzuela is a university professor, teacher trainer, and academic consultant, holds a diploma, is an official Cambridge presenter from the University of Cambridge. He's currently the academic director at Abilities and Education, holds a degree in education and foreign languages from the University of San Marcos, a diploma in successful teaching practices for teaching English by the British Council CPD program, and a Cambridge Advanced Certificate of Competence in English. He has worked as a teacher of English in different schools in Peru with groups of different ages and levels, and has been a coordinator and an advisor of different international programs in various prestigious institutions in the educational sector. He has also been involved in the work of international exams and delivered preparation courses for IELTS, TOEFL, and Cambridge YLE, Mainsuit, and TKT since 2008. Regarding teacher training, Mr. Juan Valenzuela has been sharing his expertise through professional development workshops on teaching EFL effectively inside and outside Peru country for the past 15 years. Welcome, dear Juan. The audience is all yours.
Thank you very much, Mariela. I'm so glad to be here again, sharing my expertise, sharing pedagogical experiences, also personal experiences, since teachers, are always in touch with the students. And for me, it is a pleasure to share all I've experienced throughout these years with you all. And before we start, I want you all to let me know where you are connecting from. I see a lot of people here connected, and I want you to continue interacting with me in the chat. Interaction is so important. Remember, this is not one person behind a screen, but I want you to make it like very interactive. So throughout the session, I want you all to interact with me to make sure you all are following me. If what I say makes sense, just let me know, all right? Trudy, good afternoon. I know some of you and I'm reading you in the chat. David from Ecuador. I'm in Chiclayo, which is in northern Peru. I'm in Chiclayo right now, The weather is so hot right now, you can't imagine, but I'm wearing a coat to look smart, to look stylish for you anyway. But I'm fine. Where are you right now? Where are you connecting from? Aleida from Colombia, um, Jose from Panama. Wow, I'm so happy to be here with you all. Okay, and I think we are ready to start. If you've been to my webinars before, you know that I always start my webinars with music. Also, when I deliver face-to-face sessions, when I train teachers, I use my guitar. I think music and playing an instrument is a very powerful tool to connect with your students, to build rapport with your audience. And today, I'm going to start with a song, right, which is called Price Tag. I'm sure you've heard it before. Maybe many of you have heard this song before, I am sure, right? So we are going to sing it together, okay? Remember that I want you to follow me all the time, to interact with me in the chat, right? So it is time to start. As Mariela said, we are going to talk about teaching language skills and soft skills today. There isn't much time to cover all I would like to cover with you, but I think we will focus on the main elements for delivering successful teaching, for making sure we are developing the skills properly with our students, okay? So I see people from Mexico too, and all my Peruvian teachers. I'm so happy to be here with you all. I want you to confirm that you can hear my guitar. Can you hear my guitar? I'm going to play the guitar for you. And I'm going to sing a beautiful song called Price Tag. If you know it, remember to follow me right there at home. Ooh, it's time to relax. It's time to have a good time. All right. If you can hear the guitar, please don't forget to confirm, to let me know in the chat so that we start. All right. Okay, so we are ready. Good afternoon again. Okay, ready to sing, ready to start? Here we go. Okay, price up. Okay, everybody with me. 1, 2, 3, go. Seems like everybody's got a price. I wonder how they sleep at night. When the sun comes first and the truth comes second, just stop for a minute and smile. Why is everybody so serious? Acting so damn mysterious. Check to your right and your heels so high that you can't even have a good time. Everybody look to the left, left. Everybody look to the right. Can't you feel that? Yeah, we're paying with love tonight. It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Ain't about the cha-ching, cha-ching. Ain't about the bubbling, bubbling. Just wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Woo! All right, that's good. I think you can help me with the second part, right? I want you all to sing. If you are home, if you're in your bedroom, your living room, in bed, wherever you are, it's time to practice your English with music. I want you all to join me and sing together. Here we go. The second part, 1, 2, 3, go. We need to take it back in time. We missing many songs tonight. And it wasn't long ago, so the radio goes, and I didn't want getting tired. Why is everybody so obsessed? Money can buy us happiness, but we all slow down and enjoy right now. Guarantee we'll be feeling all right. Everybody look to the left. Everybody look to the right. Can you feel that? Yeah, play with love tonight. It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Think about the cha-ching, cha-ching. about the, yeah, bubbling, bubbling, just wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Woo. All right, that's great. One more time. One more time, everybody home. Singing with me. It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Ain't about that, yeah. Ching, cha-ching, ain't about that, yeah. Bubbly, bubbly, just wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. All right, great. You've done a great job, and I think that has been quite a fantastic beginning. Thank you all for following me in the chat. I want you all to keep this interaction with me throughout the webinar. All right, yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, everyone. You see how music can make us feel like more empowered, more motivated. And as I said before, music plays a very important role in learning a language, in teaching a language. So if you can play a musical instrument, I think you have kind of a special power. If you cannot play a musical instrument or sing very well, you still have chances to find music on the internet to motivate your students to move, to dance. You know, the body tells many things. And we need to include these ways of making students get involved in our classes. So that has been quite a fantastic beginning. Okay, I'm glad to read that some of you already start your classes with songs, with music. Thank you. Thank you for this fantastic moment, for this fantastic beginning. Okay, we are going to start right away, and I want to share with you what we will cover today. We are going to talk about language skills and sub skills. So everything will be about the development, how to develop reading, how to develop speaking, how to develop listening and writing, and their corresponding sub skills. We are going to share also some teaching strategies, concrete strategies and resources for learners of all ages. In one section of the webinar, you will be my students. I will be your teacher, and I will be doing a reading and listening lesson with you so that we learn all together more about language skills and sub skills. And by the end, we will share some professional development opportunities with you all. All right, so I see people from Argentina, Salvador, people from my dear Chiclayo. Actually, I am not from Chiclayo. I live in Chiclayo. I've been living here for more than 10 years. But I'm from Callao. I was born in Callao. I'm a chalaco. So you don't know how good or how well I can dance salsa. If you meet me in person one day, I promise we can dance salsa together. All right. We are going to start then. Here's a poll with a couple of questions. I want you all to follow me in the chat and to interact with me all the time. I want you to be honest. I want you to share all that has to do with your daily life, with your daily teaching, so that we can get the best from today's webinar. The first question is, which of the four language skills is the most difficult for you to teach? I want you to answer this question only in the chat. Which of the four language skills is the most difficult to teach for you? Which of the four skills is the most difficult? If you ask me, I would say, what do you think my answer would be? I think the four of them are difficult, but sometimes one of them becomes like harder because sometimes students don't want to speak, or students feel frustrated, and they always tell you, oh, listening is difficult. So which of the four skills is the most difficult to teach? I see that for you, writing, for some others, reading, speaking. I see more speaking, listening, writing. Oh, all right. Actually, I think writing is one of the skills that is always forgotten, right? We don't usually focus on writing, okay? Not only in Peru, but in Latin America, generally speaking. Okay, so speaking, most of you are saying speaking, writing, and listening. Okay, thanks for sharing. And now I want you to tell me, or to answer the second question, I want you to tell me which of the four skills do you feel most confident with? Your speaking is your best skill, your listening, your writing, your reading. For many people, my generation, well, I'm not that old, I'm only 44. I'm double four, I'm 44 years old. But I think for many people, my generation, speaking is the most difficult uh, skill. So not many people feel confident with their speaking. People my generation feel more confident with reading or writing. But what about you? Maybe this is not your case. And I don't know the ages of all of you today. So which of the four skills do you feel most confident with? Okay, speaking, writing, you are telling me in the chat, reading, listening and writing. I feel confident about my writing too. Maybe because when writing, I have like more time to think of ideas, to brainstorm, to reflect on what I will write. So yeah, maybe writing would be my answer, all right? Speaking is okay, but sometimes the problem with the speaking is that we feel like we don't have much vocabulary, right? That happens to me. Does that happen to you? Okay, thanks for answering. Thanks for following me right there in the chat. We are going to continue with some other questions throughout the webinar. But first, I want to share like some general concepts that have to do with the four skills. You know that the four skills are grouped in two, or there are two groups. They have been put in two groups. We have receptive skills on the one hand, and on the other hand, we have productive skills. Again, there are four language skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Listening and reading are considered to be receptive, as they involve responding to language rather than producing it. They are also called receptive skills because students don't need to produce language to do this. They just receive language and they have to show they understand the language or that language they receive. These skills are sometimes known as passive skills. I always tell teachers in my presentations that for me, reading and listening are like brother and sister, or like cousins, right? There are many similarities in the way we process both skills, and we are supposed to teach both skills. Very simply, we can say that reading involves making sense of written text, and to do this, we need to understand the language of the text at word level, at sentence level, or whole text level. We also need to connect the message of the text to our knowledge of the word, all right? This is why it is important to establish context to make it significant for the students, right? To create a context so that students find it easier to understand. Listening involves understanding a spoken language, and you know that spoken language is different from written language. Okay, now let's talk about productive skills. Speaking and writing are productive skills, or the productive skills. That means that they involve producing language rather than receiving it, as in listening, in reading. Very simply, we can say that speaking involves using speech to communicate meaning to other people, and we can say that writing involves communicating a message by making signs on a page, by writing symbols on a page, on a piece of paper. To write, we need to have something to communicate. This is vital, and usually someone to communicate it to. We also need to be able to form letters and words to join these together to make sentences or a series of sentences that link together and to communicate our message in such a way as to get our message across. We will look at how we do this in the following slides. Now, as I said before, I have more questions for you. I want you all to continue interacting with me in the chat. I want you to answer this first question. We are going to start right away by learning terminology, by introducing terminology that has to do with the four skills and their corresponding sub-skills. This has to do with writing. Have you ever written an invitation card? It's not easy because you start by saying something, then you feel like, no, it's not right, and you want to erase and start again. So which of these things will you not do when writing an invitation card? when we do writing, there are some things that are connected to that process of writing, to that task, to that activity of writing. Which of these things will you not do when writing an invitation card? Do you do editing? Do you have to edit? Do you have to brainstorm? Do you do skimming? Do you have to skim? Excellent. I see that in the chat you are already answering and giving me the right answer. Yes, we don't do skimming when we write an invitation card. Skimming, as many of you or all of you know, is reading a text quickly to get a general idea to see what a text is about. So this has nothing to do with writing. But when we write in general, or when we write, for example, an invitation card, we do editing. As I said before, sometimes we write and we feel like, no, I will erase this, and we edit and we write again, okay? And also we brainstorm because we think of ideas of what's most suitable to include in what we are writing. Excellent. Excellent. You all are experts. You all are giving me the right answer in the chat. Skimming was the answer. Okay, now here's a second situation or a second question. Which of these things will you not do when trying to find an address? When you need to find an address, you use Waze, maybe Google Maps. So which of these things do you not do when you are trying or when trying to find an address? Reading for specific information, drafting, or scanning. Which of these things will you not do when trying to find an address? Okay, I want you to answer in the chat. I know you know the answer because you are very smart. Okay, yes, most of you are answering correctly. Yes, we don't do drafting. When we look for an address, when we need to find an address, we need to read for specific information, the name of the street, the number of the place, right? Also, we do scanning. Scanning is also reading quickly, the same as skimming, but not to get a general idea. Scanning is to read quickly to find or to locate specific information. Drafting has nothing to do with reading. Drafting has to do with writing, yes. When we want to write a letter, when we want to write a document or something, we make an initial plan. We have like an original plan. This first plan, this first piece of writing is what we call a draft. In Spanish, we call it eraser or borrador, right? But in English, we call it draft. So drafting has nothing to do with reading, but with writing. So you all were right again in the chat. Thanks for answering. Thanks for your interactions. Okay, I'm so glad to have such a great audience today. Okay, great. Here's another question. Which of the things will you not do when planning to go out with friends? Imagine you want to go out with your friends tonight. Yeah, today's Saturday, right? Today is Saturday. And the body knows. And the body knows about it. Okay. Okay, so imagine you want to plan to go out with friends. So which of these things will you not do when arranging, when planning, when trying to agree on what to do? Which of these things will you not do, you are not going to do, if you are planning with your friends on what to do, if going to a restaurant or whether going to the cinema? Which of these things will you not do when planning to go out with friends? Do you think you have to listen to your friends, to listen to their contributions or ideas, to listen for specific information, or no? Do you think predicting is something you will do? Do you think you will have to take turns to talk and then to listen, or to listen and then talk? Which of these things will you not do when planning to go out with friends? Okay, thanks for all you are writing in the chat. Many of you are saying turn taking, or some others are saying listening. Actually, the answer here is predicting, because when you plan a holiday or to go to the cinema or to a restaurant with a friend, if you do it on the phone or you are face to face, you have to listen to your friend. You have to listen for a specific information. If they say restaurant, cinema, or beach, or theater, right? Also, you have to take turns. There is turn taking, because first you listen, then you talk, or first you talk, then you listen. But there is no predicting. Predicting is something that is connected not to speaking, but maybe to listening or reading. Okay? So great, 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 great job again. There is one more question. Which of these things will you not do when phoning someone, when talking on the phone? Imagine you are talking on the phone. Which of these things will you not do, or which of these things you are not going to do when you are talking on the phone with a friend or with a relative? Excellent, excellent, great, great. Thanks for sharing. Okay, good. Which of these things? Thanks for your answers in the chat. Excellent, Julie. Julie Mostacero, very good, very well done. Franklin, yes. 100 points for you, Carmen Rosa, David, Trudy, Luz, Adriana, Aljadis, Javier. Javier, you are connecting from Ecuador, right? You sent me a message in the morning. Juan Carlos Coveñas, yes, proofreading is something we will not do when talking on the phone, right? Proofreading has to do with writing. To proofread is to make sure your writing is okay, your writing doesn't have any mistakes before you give it to your teacher. Or when your students do writing, before they give you their final piece of writing, they have to double check, sometimes triple check. This means they have to proofread. So this has nothing to do with the speaking. So you all are right. But when you talk on the phone, you have to paraphrase, right? Because sometimes you have to explain with your own words. You don't use exactly the same words someone used to give you a message. And also, when you are talking on the phone, you don't have the person in front of you. You don't see that person's face. So you have to infer, or you naturally infer the mood, the attitude of the other speaker. All right, great, great. You are doing a great job. Okay, great, great. So I'm so happy with you. You are such a great group, such a great audience. Okay, we are going to revise more terminology, and then we are going to start with today's lesson. I told you that in one section of the webinar, I will deliver a reading and listening lesson. You will be my students, I will be your teacher. But before we do so, we are going to continue revising terminology. Do you think this is being useful for you? Are you finding this useful to revise all this terminology that's connected to the four language skills? I know that one of the main goals of having these webinars is to help you also familiarize with the terminology of the Ascenso and Nombramiento exams. And this is something you will see in the exams, right? Sometimes we do the things in the classroom, but we don't know the name for these things. We don't know the terminology, right? Sometimes also we don't necessarily do it, all right? But I am happy to see that tonight you are here, all right, to learn all these things. And not only the terminology, because my webinar is not based on giving you theory, all right? It will be also practical. So you are learning the theory tonight, okay? But also I am going to teach you, I am going to share with you how you will have to teach scheming, proofreading, predicting, inferring, etc. I'm glad to read that you are finding this very useful, and I am finding it very fun also, because I think this is being very interactive, and also this will be very significant for your lessons and for your professional development. Okay, okay, great. Now, I want you to complete the definitions, the statements or sentences with the words from the box. Here is the first sentence. It says reading longer text independently, frequently over a period of time, and not in the classroom is, what's this? What's this? What is reading longer text independently, frequently over a period of time, not necessarily inside the classroom? For example, if you ask your students to read a novel in English, they are not going to finish the novel in one day or in 1 week. They will have to read for a longer period of time. And they might read in the combi, in a cafe, in their bedroom, but also in the classroom. Yes, probably in the classroom. What is this? Reading longer text independently, frequently over a period of time, not in the classroom. Thanks for your comment, Jose Ortega. You are so cool too for giving me that comment. That's motivating for giving my best every day. Yes, it's extensive reading. Extensive. Do you do extensive reading? Or do you only read short text? Who's reading a novel right now in English at the moment? Tell me the truth. If you're reading a novel or something that is longer in English right now, tell me in the chat and tell me the name of that novel or of that text you are reading. Do you make your students read extensively? Do you ask your students to read long text, or you just give them short pieces of reading? Let me know in the chat. Okay, the answer is extensive reading then, excellent. And here's the second statement or concept. Deciding how a writer or speaker feels about something from the way they speak or write. What's this? What's this? What is to decide how a writer or speaker feels from the way they speak or write? Okay, teacher Angelo, you're reading The Lord of the Rings. Great. Ah, Jose, Harry Potter. Jose, I was in London 2 weeks ago and I was in the Harry Potter studios. It's so amazing. I think you are a Harry Potter fan or lover. Okay, deciding how a writer or speaker feels about something from the way they speak or write is you don't know how they feel, how they write, and you don't see the speaker or the writer's face. So the only way you could tell what he or she is trying to say is by excellent, Mariana. Mariana, Apiña, and Adalesa. The only way you can tell how they are feeling is by inferring. Inferring is a difficult skill because it's not easy to infer. Sometimes when inferring or when having to answer questions about inference, the options look so tricky and we get confused. All right, but today I'm going to teach you how to do this with your students. Okay. Now, to read a text quickly, I said this to you before when we were answering the questions in the previous slides. To read a text quickly to get a general idea of what the text is about. This is easy, I think. Many of you are familiar with this. Yes, you are so smart. Thanks for following me in the chat, for interacting with me in the chat. Yeah, to read a text quickly to get a general idea of what it is about is yes, Giselle Gallardo, skimming, good Franklin, Dora Galarza, Maria Sotelo, great, skimming, Rosa Luz, good, Rosa Hilda, Erlinda. Okay, yeah, skimming. To skim is to read quickly to get a general idea. Okay, this is also reading to get an overall but not detailed understanding of the text. It's similar to skimming. It's maybe the same. So it's reading to get a general, an overall understanding of the text. It's similar to skimming. Okay. Thanks for Your answers right there in the chat. So skimming is reading quickly to get a general idea of what the text is about. And this statement is telling us that this is also reading to get a general or overall, but not detailed understanding of the text. So the answer here is yes, Doris. Fernandez Figueroa, it's gist reading. Gist reading. Okay, remember that gist and skimming are the same thing. Okay, to use clues or to use general knowledge about a topic to know what you will read about is, okay, good. To use clues or general knowledge about a topic to know what you will read about is great. Thanks for your answers in the chat. So you need clues because you don't know what this will be about. So you have to, excellent. You have to predict. Yes, this is predicting. Very good, Paulina Ruiz. Paulina, where are you connecting from? Great. Are you Peruvian, Paulina? Point for Peru. Yes, goal for Peru. Paolo's goal. Yeah, great. Aleida, Alberto, Richard Namarra, Taisia, Erlinda. Excellent. Okay. What is to guess the meaning of a word by using the information in a situation or around it? Sometimes we read a text and we see new words. We see unfamiliar words. This doesn't mean that we won't understand the meaning of the text or the message of the text, because we can guess the meaning by using the information before or after that new word, right? So to guess the meaning of a word by using information in a situation or around that word, of course, is excellent, deducing meaning from context. Great. Great, great, great. Thanks for your contributions. Excellent. You're doing a great job. Okay, now we are going to complete 3 statements or sentences. This has to do with speaking skills and soft skills. Okay, here are the options: turn taking, paraphrase, and fluency. And here's the first statement or sentence. If students don't know the exact word or expression they need, if learners don't know the exact word or expression they need, they can to explain their meaning with other words or with their own words. So when you explain the meaning of something with other words, with your own words, because you don't know the exact word or expression, you excellent, Al-Hadis. You paraphrase. Very good. Young cat. Excellent. Excellent. Yes, we paraphrase. All right. Okay, good. Now, in conversation, the process of speaking and then allowing another person to speak is called, it's like you speak first and then you allow the other person to speak too, right? Because in the communication process, it's not all about saying, or giving, or speaking. It's also about receiving or listening. So this is called, excellent, very good, very well done. Very well done. In the process, in the conversation process, when you allow another person to speak, this is called turn taking. Excellent. Pamela Diaz Cubas, Hugo Cornejo, good. Raymond Lawrence, excellent. Good. Excellent. And finally, this is obvious. It's the only option. Okay, if you correct learners a lot when they speak, you will stop their fluency, right? So it is good to correct learners or to make learners aware of their errors, their mistakes, but we shouldn't be correcting so frequently, because when you correct speaking frequently, you are going to stop fluency and you are going to kill motivation. Imagine that you are my student and you make 2, 3 mistakes and I stop you and I correct you in front of everyone. I interrupt you and teach you the pronunciation or the vocabulary. How are you going to feel? I think you are going to feel embarrassed or maybe demotivated. So if you want your students to be fluent, don't correct them all the time, okay? Because overcorrection, number one, kills motivation. And this will also stop or kill fluency. Okay, good. Are you ready for the lesson? I told you I was going to be your teacher. You were going to be my students. I have prepared a reading and listening lesson for you so that you see now the practical thing, because we have learned a lot of terminology, we have seen a lot of theory. Now it's time to practice. How to teach students to scheme, how to teach students to scan, how to teach students to deduce from context, how to teach students to predict, how to teach students to infer. So it's time to see how we will do this, okay? So forget about that theory, and now I want you to continue interacting with me. If you continue interacting with me, I am sure we will learn a lot together, okay? Great, okay. So I see you are ready right there in the chat. We are going to start. Our lesson tonight is about multiple intelligences, okay? Before I start with the lesson, I am going to talk to you about multiple intelligences tonight. Before we start with the lesson, and before you read a text on multiple intelligences, I want you to tell me here in the chat all you know about multiple intelligences. If you know nothing, write in the chat, sorry, I know nothing. Or sorry, I don't know anything about this topic. But if you know something, please tell me in the chat. Okay? Tell me in the chat all you know about multiple intelligences. Okay? All answers are valid. This is not an exam. Okay? I just want to know how much you know or how much you don't know about this topic. Okay. Very good. All right. Okay, so I'm all ears, all eyes. Okay, what do you know about multiple intelligences? Tell me in the chat. Okay, 8 intelligences. Eliberto, okay, thanks for sharing. Yeah, different ways to learn. Yes, Gabby, very interesting. 7, oh my God. Tati saying 7. Eliberto said 8. Who says 9? Okay. Okay, Letnor Cruz. Thanks for your honesty. You don't know anything about the topic. Okay, music intelligence. Okay, musical intelligence. Different kinds of intelligence. Good, Carolina. Okay, Greta, nothing. Howard Gardner. Yeah, he's the creator of the theory of multiple intelligences. Thank you, Betsabe. Okay, Javier Sancan from Ecuador. They refer to the way we learn something. Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, excellent, excellent. Betty, Cordova, thank you. Al-Hadis. Yeah, okay, everybody has developed specific or different intelligence. Natural intelligence is Alicia Roxana. Thank you. Thanks for all your comments. Excellent, excellent, excellent. You are doing a great job. Okay, now you are going to read about multiple intelligences, okay? I'm giving you 45 seconds only, so you have to be fast. I want you to read quickly. I want you to read fast and tell me what the text is about, okay? Here is the text. I am already displaying the slide with the text. I want you to read the text. You have only, remember, 45 seconds starting now. Excellent. Time is up. What is the text about? Who would like to share in the chat what the text is about? It's obvious, right? The title is telling us a lot. But what would you like to share? What could you share? I am reading you all in the chat. What is the text about? Good. Thanks for sharing. Excellent. Good. You are doing a great job. Thanks for following me. You are the best audience ever. Okay, yeah, it refers to multiple intelligences. Yeah, multiple intelligences. Yes, yes. Okay, okay, yeah. It's difficult to read on the phone, Nerida. Yeah, I know. But thanks for trying. Okay, Bleu, it explains how multiple intelligences appear. Good. Yeah, the eighth or possible ninth multiple intelligences. Good. Thank you, Eliberto. Okay, good. Okay, great. Great. Now, you are going to read again quickly. I'm giving you only 20 seconds now. And I want you to tell me here what the name of the ninth intelligence or the suggested ninth intelligence is. What's the suggested ninth intelligence called? Okay, you have 20 seconds now, 20 seconds only, starting now. What's the name of the ninth intelligence? Okay, okay, time is up. Okay, good. What's the name of the ninth intelligence or the suggested ninth intelligence? What's this suggested ninth intelligence called? Excellent. Wow, you are very smart and fast. Existentialist. Yes, good. Very well done, David Pereira, Jose Ortega, Liz Diaz Cueva, Julia Romero. Oh, I would like to name you all, sorry, but it's so fast that I can read all the names, but I'm trying to do my best. Thank you all, I love you. You are the best audience ever. Yes, existentialist. Yes, it's here in the text, in one of the fragments of the passage, in one of the sections of the text or passage. Excellent. Excellent. Now let's continue. We are going to read, you are going to read the text again in more detail, okay? I'm giving you 60 seconds now, okay? I think 1 minute is a lot, especially because you have read the text twice. This will be your third time, okay? And I want you to answer this question. Who is the text written for? But also you need to tell me how you know that. Who is this text written for? It's written for teachers, it's written for doctors, the text has been written for psychologists, has been written for students. Who is the text written for, and how do you know that? Okay, you have 60 seconds starting now. Good, you are so smart. You are so smart. Uh, the text is written for teachers. How do you know that? Because there is, have you noticed that in one of the sentences, in one of the lines, it says, blah, 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 and teachers should know them. Second paragraph, it says, in recent years, however, other views of intelligence have emerged and teachers should know them. So that text is written for teachers and it's very clear here, okay? So the target audience is teachers and it's clear in the text, all right? Excellent, excellent, you are doing a great job. Okay, now, in the text, we have the expression innate gift or an innate gift. What do you think the expression an innate gift means? In one fragment, in one section of the passage, it says, intelligence is often defined as our intellectual potential. An innate gift, something we are born with, something that can be measured, and a capacity that is difficult to change. Sorry. What do you think is the meaning of an innate gift? Can you guess the meaning from the context, from the words around, before or after innate gift? What do you think innate gift means? Excellent. Excellent. You're doing a great job. Yeah, something that we are born with. Yes. Yes, something that is inherited. Elena, I love your word. Yeah, something. Yes, genetic. I love your word, Angie. Something that is inside you. Yes, inside. Maria Sotelo, great. Yes. Okay. Actually, the word in Spanish is very similar, right? Innate, innato. It's like something that we don't learn, something that belongs to us, all right? And we can guess from the expressions something we are born with, or from the expression a capacity that is difficult to change. Yes, a talent also, Denise. Excellent, excellent. I love you all. You are a great group of teachers. Okay, now look at this. In the second paragraph, we have the word it. Here in this slide, it says, in recent years, however, other views of intelligence have emerged. That's the beginning of the second paragraph. And teachers should know them. One such conception is the theory of multiple intelligences proposed by Harvard psychologist Howard Gardner. It suggests that traditional psychometric views of intelligence are too limited. So what does the word it refer to? What does it refer to? I want you to read. Maybe you can read carefully before you answer. What does it refer to? Libros nuevos. You are right. What's your name, Libros nuevos? I don't think that's your name. What's your name? I would like to know your name, to call you by your name. What do you think? Your answer is right. Yeah, it refers that theory. It refers that theory. Yes, the theory of multiple intelligences. Excellent. You are very smart. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I love you. Okay. Now, one more question. Is the theory of multiple intelligences commonly accepted as the main theory of multiple intelligences? Do you think the writer considers this theory as the main theory? Read this short extract and then answer. Is the theory outlined commonly accepted as the main theory of multiple intelligences? Does the writer consider it the main theory? Yes or no? And why? Thanks for your answer, Rosaluz. Excellent, Tati and Erlinda. Yes, this theory is commonly or generally accepted as the main theory of multiple intelligences. Yes, why? Yeah, absolutely, yes, Liberto. And in this text specifically, it's the only theory that is mentioned. There isn't any other theory. So this is generally or commonly accepted as a main theory. Of course, yes. Because the writer here doesn't mention any other theory. And this theory is able to be applied to people in general, to all humans, to all people in the world. Yes, Yuri, there is an authority in education and researching. But here, specifically in the text, the writer doesn't mention any other theory. This is why we say that, yes, this is commonly accepted as a main theory, and also because it's able to apply this theory to people in general. Okay, this was the first part of a text on multiple intelligences. What do you think the second part of the text will be about? It was very interesting, right? To see how we all have different talents or capacities, and intelligence is not or shouldn't be limited to having one skill, to being good at maths or at language, but we can be intelligent in different ways, right? Okay, so you think the second part will be about recognizing the intelligences or how to apply them in the classroom? Yeah, I like that. Very interesting. Or maybe about describing the characteristics of each. Okay, good. Explaining each of them. Okay, or how to put them into practice. Yeah, very interesting. I like your comments. I like your contributions in the chat. Yeah, possibly or probably about the ETiPs or how teachers can identify and develop disabilities in students. Also, how others might view or might see this topic. Excellent. Okay, did you like the lesson? I want you to let me know in the chat. I want you to tell me in the chat if you enjoyed this moment. You were doing reading with me, and to be honest, you did a great job. How did you feel? Did it feel like natural? Did it feel like fun? Are you enjoying the lesson? Okay, great, great. Thanks for your comments in the chat. Excellent, 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 good. Thank you, Maria del Pilar, Doris, Maria Sotelo. Excellent. Okay, now we are going to reflect on what we have done. I told you that there was a moment of theory, there was a moment of practice, all right? We've already practiced. Now it's time to identify what we have done. So I started the lesson by asking you to type here in the chat, in the YouTube chat, all you know about multiple intelligences. Do you remember? I told you, okay, we are going to have a lesson. You are going to learn about multiple intelligences. But before we read, please tell me in the chat all you know about this topic. If you don't know anything, type, please. I don't know anything. Okay, when I did this, what was I doing? What was my intention? What was I doing when I said to you, okay, tell me in the chat all you know about this topic? I was doing a scanning. I was doing inferring. I was making you to predict, or I was maybe helping you to recognize links, or I was establishing context for reading. What was I doing? Guessing meaning from context. At the beginning, remember, I told you, okay, we are going to read about multiple intelligences, but before we read, please type in the chat all you know about this topic. Yeah, brainstorming ideas, excellent, which is similar to Mirka Rodriguez. Woo! You are the winner. I was establishing context for reading. I was establishing context for reading. Excellent. Where are you from? Mirka Rodriguez. Where are you from? Are you from Peru? Goal for Peru? Point for Peru? Where are you connecting from? Yes, and it is important when you teach reading that when you teach reading, you establish context for reading. If you are going to make your students read, for example, about food in Italy, establish a context. Ask them if they like pizza or if they know what the typical dishes of Italy are. If you are going to make your students about life in India, ask them questions about to see how much they know or they don't know about the topic. It is important to establish context for reading, yes, to activate prior knowledge, right? Remember that in Spanish we say previous knowledge, but the right word in English is prior knowledge, all right? I am going to type it for you in the chat so that you know what I mean. In Spanish we say previous knowledge, but the right word is prior knowledge. Yes, we need to activate prior knowledge and we need to establish context for reading. Excellent. Okay, second question. After you typed all you knew about the topic, I gave you 45 seconds to read quickly, and I asked you to tell me what the text was about. What was my intention here? I made you read quickly to get the general idea, to understand what the text is about. What were you doing? What was I teaching you to do or asking you to do? Scanning, inferring, predicting, recognizing links. Yes, excellent. Scheming. Scheming. Listen, here is a secret, a top secret, okay? It's only for you tonight. Don't tell anyone, okay? I'm going back to the previous slides, all right? Usually, because it is important that the students notice the things, okay? And this is why I am sharing this with you. Usually, the main idea is mentioned at the beginning in the first lines or in the last lines. Not always, but usually, I would say 99% of the time. If you want to know what the main idea of a text is, it will be at the beginning or in the end. And you can teach your students these things. At the beginning of today's presentation, it was mentioned that I train students for international exams. Actually, I am an official Cambridge presenter, and I prepare students not only for Cambridge exams, but also for IELTS and for TOEFL exams. And in all international exams, students have to do skimming. In IELTS, for example, there are three texts, three passages. There are more than 2,700 words to read in only 1 hour and 40 questions to answer. So students have to do a lot of skimming. If you want your students to be good at reading, you have to teach your students to skim, to scan, to infer, to deduce meaning from context. This way, you will prepare them for life. Because when they are at university, they have to show they are good at reading, at understanding what they read. Or if they take an international exam, they have to be good also at these things. All right? So we need to prepare students for life, and this is why we need to be very well equipped, very well prepared for doing a good job when developing all the skills. I also told you at the beginning that there isn't time, a lot of time, to cover the 4 skills today. But I wanted to focus on listening and reading, basically, so that we learn together. Okay, great. Okay, then I asked you to read again. I told you 20 seconds only now. Read quickly and tell me the name of the 9th intelligence. The answer was existentialist. What was my intention here? What was I doing with you? What was I teaching you? Excellent, excellent. Here you were doing a scanning. You were reading quickly to locate or to find specific information. Very good, Maria Enriqueta, Jessica, Catherine, Ugalde, Napa, and Carmen Locke. Okay, good. Great. Then, you remember I asked you to read, I gave you 1 minute, and I asked you to tell me who the text was written for. You said the text is written for teachers. Okay. What was the purpose here? What was the intention? The goal here? I was teaching you to. I was teaching you to. Yes. When I said, who is the text written for? How do you know that? I was teaching you to, or I was asking you to. Yes, libros nuevos again. What's your name? Didn't tell me your name. Haven't told me your name yet. To identify the target audience. Yes. Good. Good, 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 good. It is important when teaching reading that the students identify the target audience. This way they are going to understand a text better. Okay, then I ask you, okay, what do you think the expression an innate gift means? What helped you to guess? Here I was asking you to, or I was teaching you to. Very good. Very well done. Here I was teaching you to. Excellent. Very good. You're doing a great job. Excellent, Frida Linares, to guess meaning from context. Many times when we read, not only when we read, also, for example, when we are watching TV, we hear new words, even in our language, in Spanish. But this doesn't mean that we won't understand the message, because we can guess from the context. And in international exams, again, in international exams, the examiners put a lot of new words intentionally to see how you can deal with the situation, to see how good you can be at guessing from the words around, from the context. You see how beautiful this is? It makes sense right now, right? Okay, I hope you are finding all this useful and you apply this with your students, and in your next reading lesson, you teach the skills this way. You can take this model. There are some other models that you can follow, right? The idea is that we give our students the best. They deserve it. Okay, great. Then, I said in the second paragraph, what does it refer to? You remember? And you said, it refers the theory of multiple intelligences. Here, I was teaching you two. And also in international exams, there are some questions in Cambridge B2, Cambridge C1, for example. Also in IELTS, in TOEFL, there is a lot of this. What does this word refer to? And it's sometimes a vocabulary question, all right? When you know the grammar, when you recognize, excellent, Mirka, again, Mirka Rodriguez, recognizing links. Here, the idea is to teach students to recognize links, all right? Excellent. Very good. Very good. Then it says, is a theory commonly accepted as the main theory of multiple intelligences? Does a writer consider it the main theory? Please give reasons for your answer. The answer here is yes, what you've been writing in all these last lines. Yes, here is inferring. Inferring. I told you that it's not easy to infer, right? Because sometimes the message is not obvious in the text. You need to infer, you need to try to get an idea of what the writer is trying to transmit, to communicate, all right? This is what inferring is about. Excellent. Then I ask you this question, what's the main point that the writer wants to convey? How do you know that? This is for identifying the main message. Yes, yes, very well done. Identifying the main message. And finally, in the end, I ask you to tell me what you thought the second part of the text would be about. You said maybe about each intelligence, the characteristics, or how we can apply them. Here we were doing, yes, excellent. Excellent, you are doing a great job. Here we were doing predicting. So predicting doesn't have to be necessarily at the beginning of your lesson. It can also be by the end of your lesson. All right? Okay, did you like the lesson? Did you enjoy the reading lesson? So it's been like theory, we have learned terminology, but also practice. It's been practical to see how the reading process or the reading lesson should be conducted, right? I think it's been very useful, and you are, again, a great audience. You are a great audience. I love you all. Okay, here's some more information about some of the intelligences. If you have, for example, visual spatial intelligence, you are supposed to be a strong or good at visualizing things. These people are often good with directions, with maps, charts, videos, and pictures. This is not my case. I am very bad, sorry, at directions. The strengths of these people are visual and spatial judgment. And the characteristics of people with this intelligence is that they can, or they read and write for enjoyment. They are good at putting puzzles together, interpret pictures, graphs, and charts well, enjoy drawing, painting, the visual art, recognize patterns easily. Again, this is not my case. No way, I am not like this. No, I don't have this intelligence. Some potential career choices, if you are strong in this intelligence, could be architect, artist, engineer. Okay. In the case of children, it's the same processes, Cairo Fair. It's the same, depending on the topic. But in the case of children, to help children with understanding, we have to use a lot of pictures. Also, when doing listening, chunks, repetition, drills, These things help children to consolidate comprehension. If you are, or if you have linguistic verbal intelligence, you are supposed to be able to use words well, both when writing and speaking. These people are typically very good at writing stories, memorizing information, and reading. They are very strong in words, in language, and writing. I think this is my case. I think I have this intelligence. Well, I don't want to sound arrogant. I want to be humble, but I think God gave me this intelligence because I am good at words, at speaking, at language and writing. The characteristics of people with this intelligence, they remember written and spoken information, they enjoy reading and writing, they debate or give persuasive speeches, they are able to explain things well, they use humor when telling stories, and the potential career choices for these people are writer, journalist, lawyer, teacher. Yes, our profession, teachers. Teachers are supposed to be good at speaking at language, right? In general. So again, I think this is my case. Okay, do you have logical, mathematical intelligence? I don't. I am so bad at numbers. But people who are strong in logical, mathematical intelligence are good at reasoning, recognizing patterns, and logically analyzing problems. They tend to think conceptually about numbers, relationships, and patterns. Their strengths are analyzing problems and mathematical operations. Okay, good. Okay, I see very, very many interesting questions in the chat. For example, Liliana, when I give to students one reading, they don't understand, what can we do? Well, before you give them the reading, you are supposed, again, as we did, to establish context, to pre-teach vocabulary, all right? You can use flashcards to help you with vocabulary they will see in the reading, okay? And even like that, if they don't understand, you have to help them. And always use English only in your classes, all right? You can mime, you can use a board, all right? You can help, or you can have the help of other students to make students understand the topic of the reading. Okay, characteristics of people with logical mathematical intelligence. They have excellent problem solving skills. They enjoy thinking about abstract ideas. They like conducting scientific experiments. They can solve complex computations. The potential career choices are scientist, mathematician, computer programmer, engineer, or accountant. Okay, I saw another interesting question here. What is the right order of teaching the sub-skills? Actually, there isn't one order. Okay, it can be in any order depending on your purpose. For example, this week or this bimester, I want to concentrate on making my students very good at skimming, scanning, and deducing from context. So this bimester, I want to focus on these 3 sub-skills only. And in the next bimester, I want to make my students strong in inferring and recognizing links, for example. There isn't one order, all right? There isn't one order, one right order. So, so it's that way, okay? Thanks for all your comments. I think Mariela is taking notes of all the questions, so by the end we can answer them. Okay, here are some of the other intelligences. They have been mentioned indirectly throughout the lesson. I think it's been very interesting to learn all about multiple intelligences. Okay, we have done reading. We have done listening also, a lot of listening. I've been speaking to you in English only. You have been following me, and it's been fantastic. Here are some links that can help us to consolidate listening and reading, okay? By the end, Mariela, I think by the end, my presentation will be shared with the audience, right? So that they can access. Excellent. So by the end, you will be sent my presentations, so you will be able to access all these links, all right? for teaching listening and reading, we have these beautiful options, all right? If you explore them in detail with some time, maybe tomorrow or these days, I am sure you will have a lot of elements for improving your teaching, for making your students stronger in all the skills. Here are more links. I don't know if you've used this website before. This is the English Listening Lesson Library online. Here are levels. You have different topics. Also lyrics training. Here you can play with music. It's very fun. Or the Cyber Listening Lab. Here are also levels and academic listening, academic lectures with other type of vocabulary, which can be very useful for students. Here is one for teaching speaking, SpeakPipe. Here, students can record their voices. If you explore them all, I am sure you will be fascinated, all right? There's a lot to revise, a lot to learn every day. Every day, there is an opportunity to learn. If you don't learn anything new tomorrow, that's because, sorry about saying this, but that's because you are lazy or you are pessimistic. Nowadays, we have a lot of tools, a lot of resources, all right? So every day is an opportunity to learn, all right? So I hope you explore all these websites in detail. It'll be fantastic, and I am sure you will feel like very motivated for your classes. Okay, here is another Flipgrid. Here, students also can record their voices and send you their audios, but here they can use a camera. So it's like short videos they can make and they can share with each other. It's great. It's very fun. It's very useful for the students. Denise Cruz, I love you. You're going to make me cry. Your favorite webinar today. Yeah, you're my favorite audience. Okay, here's another. Maybe you know some of these websites or you are already using them in your teaching. This one is so good because here with the computer microphone or with the microphone of your phone, you can speak and you can see how your pronunciation is improving. Speak and Improve is a new Cambridge website. There is a robot called Sally that is going to ask you questions. You are going to use the computer microphone or the phone microphone to answer the questions. And by the end of each round or section, the robot, Sally, will give you feedback, will give you a level. Sally will tell you if your speaking is level B1, level B2, level C1. It's very, very interesting. Here is one website where you can get speaking materials for different levels, speaking worksheets also. And you were asking about children, speaking for children. I love teaching children. I've taught children for quite a long time. I've been a teacher in the primary level for quite a long time, and I love it. But today, you know, the focus was more for the secondary level. Maybe in the future, we hear something about how to teach English to children successfully. I would love it. And here is also something for speaking or for developing a speaking skill with teenagers and with adults from the British Council. Here is also a link where you can access my worksheets at live worksheets because I always upload materials. In YouTube also, if you follow me, if you type Juan Valenzuela in YouTube, you're going to find some videos of webinars I delivered before. But also in live worksheets, you can find also a lot of materials for helping your students with speaking that are from my property. Okay, if you want to teach writing, here are also a couple of links. Cambridge Pen Friends, you can communicate with other students or make your students communicate with other students from all over the world. Or you can use the Improve, Write and Improve, which is a Cambridge website in which you can write for free and then you get feedback immediately. You are also here given a level A1, A2, B1, B2, etc. Okay, let's recapitulate. Let's do this very quickly. it's time to see what you have learned about the four skills. You have to read the statements here and decide if they are true or false. Number one, we can train students or we can train learners to become better communicators if we show them strategies to help with understanding. For example, asking questions, showing pictures. This is true or false? Is this true or false? Thank you all. Thank you. I really like you. I love this audience. I love you all. Sander Carrasco, thank you, and God bless you. Okay, let's see. Is this true or false? Yes, it is true. Excellent, Aleida. Now, having conversation with the students is not beneficial for increasing understanding and productive use of language. Is this true or false? Having conversations with the students, with learners, is not beneficial for increasing understanding and productive use of language. Is this true or false? Excellent. Thanks for all this interaction. Thank you so much. Excellent, excellent. In the second case, the answer is excellent. The answer is false because it is good to have conversations with the students. It is very beneficial to increase their understanding, to help them to understand things much better. Okay. Drills, chants, and chunks don't help the students improve their accuracy. Is this true or false? I think I mentioned this. Do you think drills, chants, repetition can help students? Excellent. Excellent. It's false. They do help students to improve their accuracy, to improve their grammar, also to consolidate comprehension. Okay, pictures. Pictures can be used to integrate freer and more creative speaking and writing practice. What do you think? I think you know the answer. Is it true or false? Excellent, excellent. Excellent. The answer is true. Very good, very well done. Yes, pictures are a great way to present language and also to help students think of ideas on what to say, what to speak, what to write. Okay, now let's see. Let's answer these questions. Number one, which skill involves being fluent? Is it speaking or writing? Or both? Speaking and writing. Which skill involves being fluent? Is it speaking or writing? Or it's both, speaking and writing? Yes, the answer is both. I know many of you said speaking, but no, fluency has to do with both. Because when we write, we need to be fluent. We need ideas and we need to express them fluently, right? So fluency has to do with both, with the speaking and writing. Now, which skill involves learning to form the letters of the alphabet, to form letters, to write symbols? We talked about this at the beginning. Yes, it is writing. Writing, good, very well done. Now, which skill involves putting words into the correct order to make a sentence? Is it speaking or writing? Or both, speaking and writing? What do you think? Excellent. Thanks for writing, for typing in the chat. It's both, because when you speak, you need to put words into the correct order to make a sentence. But also when you write, you need this coherence, right? To put words in the correct orders to make a sentence. Now, which skill involves using punctuation, such as commas, full stops, question marks? It's clear, I think, right? Yes, excellent. Excellent. Speaking or writing, or both speaking and writing? The answer is writing. Writing. Very good. Very well done. Okay. Now, which skill involves coherence? Again, coherence, organizing your ideas in a logical way. Speaking or writing, or both? Very good, very good. Very good, you are doing a great job. Yes, both. In both cases, when you speak, you need to organize your ideas in a logical way. And also when you write, you need to organize your ideas in a logical way. Good. Now, which skill involves cohesion, which is joining sentences together, using words like and, but, because, although? Speaking or writing, or both? Speaking or writing? Excellent, excellent. Thanks for following me in the chat. You're doing a great job. I love you. Both, yes, both. In both cases, we need cohesion. We need to use the right words to connect ideas, to connect sentences. Okay. Which skill involves interactive strategies such as taking turns or turn taking, starting and finishing a conversation? Yeah, the answer is obvious. Repeating and rephrasing, showing that you are listening. Yes, good. Yeah, I know you saw it. Also, yeah, it is speaking. Very good. Very well done. Now, which skill involves using vocabulary and grammar? Which skill involves using grammar, using vocabulary? Speaking or writing? Or both? Speaking or writing? Excellent. The answer is both. In both cases, we need vocabulary. We need good vocabulary. We need grammar. We need good grammar. Excellent. Now, which skill involves using language which has the correct level of politeness for the situation? Being formal or informal. It is important to know if you have to be formal, if you have to be informal, or you have to be neutral. If you are talking to your boss or to the principal of the school, you have to be formal. If you are talking to a friend, you can be informal. If you are talking to someone in the street, maybe you can be neutral. Okay, so which skill involves using language which has the correct level of formality, of politeness for the situation? Speaking or writing? Excellent. The answer is both. In both cases, we need to know what level of politeness is more suitable for a situation. Now, which skill involves producing and linking sounds to form words, phrases, and sentences? I think this is obvious. Excellent. Yeah, is it speaking or writing, or both speaking or writing? Excellent, excellent. 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 It is speaking. Okay, now, yeah, this is the same. Let's have a look at this terminology. All we have revised today. This is the end of my presentation. Remember that the presentation will be shared with you all. Mariela is going to share it. So here you have the terminology we have revised. Okay. Skills development, accuracy, draft, edit, fluency, oral fluency, proofreading, productive skills. Thank you very much. It's been such a great pleasure to share this time with you all today. Mariela, thank you for the opportunity. Again, I love you all. That's all with me.
Thank you so much, dear Juan, on behalf of English teachers in Peru. Thank you for this amazing webinar. More than 500 teachers practiced a lot today. It was a practical webinar, and thank you for sharing all your resources, the materials, very, very interesting. Now it's time to answer some questions, and is Angelita Salazar here? Please, could you start with the questions, dear Angela?
Sure. Hi. And again, thank you so much for everything. We truly appreciate your time, dedication, commitment to the field of the ESL education. Thank you again. And I have some questions for you. The first question is, well, as as a Cambridge trainer for exams, do you think we should teach our students that a specific question has a specific technique, like inferring or doing for guest or linking, etc.? This is a question from Miss Flor de Maria.
Yeah, thank you, Angela, and thank you, Flor de Maria. Sure, it is important to train students. As I said in one of the sections of today's webinar, we need to prepare students for life. So if you teach students the right techniques, not only when reading, but when speaking, when writing, when listening, you are going to prepare them for life. It is very, very likely, very probable that your students have to face an international exam tomorrow, right? If you want to be a good professional, you need English. Everybody needs English nowadays. Doctors, police officers, engineers. So, and many people are preparing for international exams because they want to migrate. They want to get a better job. Many families are migrating to Canada right now, or they want to study a master's degree in another country. So if you teach your students the skills and their corresponding sub-skill, you are going to prepare them not only for an exam, but for life. And you know what? When you are good at reading in one language, or you know the techniques, the corresponding sub-skills, you can transfer this knowledge to any other language. If you know Italian vocabulary and you have a reading in Italian, you only transfer the techniques and the strategies, and you are going to be good at reading in Italian or in Japanese or in Chinese. So that's fantastic, don't you think?
Yes, it is. Thank you so much for answering this question. And I have another one now. This is a question from Luz Adriana Jaramillo Villegas. She asks, how can I teach preschoolers to be good readers?
All right, it's a good question. I told you that I've taught children for quite a long time, and that I love it. In the case of children, what helps a lot is the use of pictures, the use of your body also, the body language, TPR. If you want to make children learn vocabulary, you have to do a lot of TPR, which is total physical response. Games like Simon Says are an example of this. You take Simon says run, Simon says stand up, Simon says sit down. This way you can teach students a lot of vocabulary, all right? Also with pictures, with flashcards, with songs, all right? This is the way you consolidate comprehension in the early years. And in the early years, the focus is not in reading or writing, or shouldn't be in reading and writing. The focus should be on listening and speaking. So if you are teaching kinder and you are making your students write or read things, you are not doing a good job, okay? You should be doing a lot of listening and speaking. In general, with beginners, this is the way you should be delivering your teaching. The problem is that we teachers do the opposite. We do a lot of reading and writing, and we put listening and speaking in the second place. And this is why many students have a lot of problems, especially students my generation, right? I told you that I am not that old. I am only 44, and I know that I look like the half. I look like a 22-year-old boy. All right. But many people my generation struggle with this, have problems with this, because we do it the opposite way. Don't do reading and writing focus more on listening and speaking. This way you are going to consolidate comprehension in your students. Okay, good.
Thank you so much. I have a question for you. In your expertise, what do you think is the best way to gather all the multiple intelligences from our students in an activity?
Well, it's difficult to put all the intelligences together in one activity. Maybe what we can do is to identify first what type of intelligences we have in our classrooms, right? Because we have students with different talents. And many times, those students who are like the naughty ones or the noisiest students, many times are the most intelligent. I tell you this from experience, because they are very talented for many things that other students who are like more calm or more quiet and not do, right? So first, I would suggest you to identify what type of intelligences you have in your classroom and try to include activities that match the different students, the different intelligences, the different necessities, the different styles, all right? You have to include variety in your teaching. If you are using music only, yeah, it's fun, but you are only assisting the musical ones. But there are students who are so bad at music or don't care about music. They are more logical, mathematic, or they are more verbal, linguistic, intelligent, right? So you try to include variety. You have to try to include activities that match all your learners, all right? As I said before, this semester, I will focus on inferring or deducing from context, on scheming. Yeah, but this semester, I will focus more on the musical ones, the logical, mathematical ones, and the next semester. And this, I think this is fun and fair for everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much again, Juan, for being here tonight. And I want you to be here for a little bit longer. Meanwhile, we pass to the next part of this session. Thanks again. Now, who's coming? Marie?
Yeah, me. Thank you, Juan. Now it's time to speak in our native language because we have a big surprise for you, dear teachers. Querido Juan, primeramente quiero agradecerte de todo corazón una vez más el haber participado, el haber aceptado nuestra invitación el día de hoy. Y yo creo que tienes muchos fans más ahora. Muchos teachers han quedado súper complacidos con la sesión, con todo lo que has compartido. Y decirles que además de todo lo que hemos recibido el día de hoy, nuestro estimado Juan Valenzuela, gracias a la institución que dirige, Abilities and Education, tiene para nosotros una beca completa, 2 medias becas que con mucha bondad el día de hoy se va a sortear para la comunidad English Teachers in Perú y para toda la audiencia que está presente en este momento. Voy a regresar en unos minutitos más, querido Juan, no te muevas de ahí, por favor, para que nos comentes un poquito sobre las oportunidades de capacitación que tiene Abilities and Education para los teachers. No sin antes decirles, por favor, necesito que sigan las instrucciones con mucho cuidado porque esta vez solamente van a tener 10 minutitos para poder llenar su exit ticket. Querida Miriam, puedes compartir en este momento el exit ticket e indicarles también lo importante que es para el sorteo.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much for waiting. This important moment it's time to present the exit ticket. Please, you have only 10 minutes in order to complete the exit ticket, okay? Remember, the exit ticket is HTTPS, todo minúscula, 2 puntos, / CUTT.LI, Y minúsculas, / y nos vamos con las mayúsculas. Summer 2024V. SUMMER 2024V. Todo mayúscula. Tomar en cuenta los puntos, no hay espacios y Adelante, Miss Mariela.
Muchas gracias, querida Miriam. Teacher, solamente tenemos 10 minutitos, respondemos las preguntitas porque con toda la data que se vaya a recoger del Exit Ticket, recuerden que van a entrar inmediatamente, ahora mismo, en 10 minutitos al sorteo que se va a hacer en vivo y en vivo también van a salir los ganadores y para que puedan ser acreditados como ganadores, es que deben estar presentes en el live, así que ni se les ocurra desconectarse, tienen que estar bien conectados, porque una vez que salga su nombre en pantalla, deben escribir en el chat de YouTube e indicar que están presentes, ¿sí? Entonces, por favor, no se desconecten. Mientras van llenando, vamos a conversar un poquito más con Juan. Querido Juan, ¿estás ahí? Quisiera hacerte algunas preguntitas, Juan, con respecto a esta oportunidad de capacitación que está ofreciendo Abilities and Education. Si nos puedes hablar un poquito más sobre este primer curso que es Foundation in IELTS Exams Preparation.
Claro que sí, con todo gusto. Nuevamente, gracias a todos, los amo, los quiero muchísimo. Son una súper audiencia. Me ha encantado compartir con todos ustedes. Soy Juan Valenzuela, soy profesor como todos los que estamos aquí, muy apasionado por el tema de educación, con una gran vocación por lo que hago. Tengo más de 20 años de experiencia en lo que es enseñanza, aprendizaje del inglés y en los últimos más de 12 años, últimos años, he venido compartiendo distintas experiencias pedagógicas con profesores como ustedes en todo el territorio nacional y también fuera de Perú. Actualmente estoy dirigiendo mi propia institución, que es Abilities and Education, lo vengo haciendo desde el 2018. Les había un poco contado, Mariela, al principio en la presentación, que he trabajado en muchos colegios de Perú. He trabajado como profesor y también como coordinador, director de programas internacionales. Sigo en contacto con colegios, actualmente asesorando programas educativos, implementando, ayudando con ideas, dando soporte a directores, a promotores, y me encanta lo que hago. Con Abilities and Education tenemos academia de inglés, tenemos enseñanza de inglés general, preparación para exámenes internacionales y obviamente también le doy muy fuerte a lo que es capacitación, entrenamiento docente. He trabajado en estos últimos años con distintas UGELs a nivel nacional, también con el sector privado. Ya se ha mencionado que soy presentador de Cambridge, he trabajado mucho con los exámenes de Cambridge, también con el Consejo Británico British Council, con muchas alianzas privadas también de gran renombre a nivel local, nacional e internacional. En lo que respecta a esta primera oportunidad de crecimiento profesional, que es Foundations in IELTS Exams Preparation, lo que estoy presentando ahora es un curso que te va a convertir en entrenador de los exámenes IELTS. Sé que muchos aquí somos o conocemos, tenemos familiaridad con lo que son los exámenes internacionales, tal vez más con TOEFL, con Cambridge, pero en los últimos años es un requerimiento para migrar a algunos países o para trabajar en otros países o para acceder a estudios de posgrado, el tener el examen de IELTS. No sé si han escuchado, por ejemplo, que en Canadá hay mucho trabajo para gente profesional, para doctores, para gente que tiene una profesión, que es ingeniero, que es contador. Y el requisito es que tengan un nivel de inglés intermedio 5.5, trabaja IELTS con puntajes, con bandas, no con otros exámenes, como otros exámenes. 5.5 es un nivel B1, B2, por ejemplo. Entonces hay mucha gente que actualmente necesita prepararse porque va a llevar una maestría, porque va a migrar a Canadá, etcétera, para este examen. Y en los últimos años está muy en boga. Pero en Perú habemos muy pocos entrenadores, muy pocos docentes que podemos preparar personas para este examen. Es por ello que quiero compartir en esta oportunidad esta gran opción o alternativa de que conozcas los exámenes y acredites como entrenador de estos exámenes. Sé que algunos de aquí de repente preparan para exámenes de Cambridge, preparan para exámenes de TOEFL. Es una gran oportunidad si quieres conocer más de estos exámenes que hoy en día tienen alta demanda y va a subir esa demanda, que te conviertas en entrenador. Son 8 sesiones, lunes y martes, todo marzo, de 8:15 de la noche a 9:30 de la noche, hora peruana. Todos los lunes y martes de marzo son clases en Zoom conmigo, donde les voy a enseñar todo acerca de estos exámenes, el contenido, formato, los tips, las estrategias y cómo preparar a los alumnos. Para poder hacerlo bien, como siempre, y intento, y como he intentado hacerlo hoy también, mis cursos son muy prácticos, son muy dinámicos, no son teóricos, no son expositivos, y vamos a trabajar las partes del examen. Va a ser fascinante. El costo para profesores peruanos es un solo pago de 225 soles y para docentes extranjeros un solo pago de $60. Al finalizar las 8 sesiones Zoom, van a recibir un certificado como entrenador acreditado de examen IELTS de 200 horas. Y ahora vamos a rifar 3 becas. En este momento, en unos instantes, una de 100% y 2 de 50% para ustedes que hoy se han portado maravillosamente. La segunda oportunidad es preparación para los 3 módulos de TKT, para lo cual ofrezco también una gran alternativa y una gran oferta el día de hoy. La preparación para los 3 módulos es asincrónica, si quieren certificar en metodología de la enseñanza con la Universidad de Cambridge. Es la preparación para los 3 módulos por el precio de uno, de solamente 190 soles. Más adelante, si es oportuno, voy a compartir por aquí o Mariela me va a ayudar a compartir mi teléfono para que me escriban por WhatsApp y descuiden que yo siempre contesto todos los mensajes, pero a veces cuando son muchos tengo que contestarlos en el orden que van llegando, ¿sí? Para informes, estas son 2 oportunidades que creo tienen mucho que ver con lo que esta noche hemos querido compartir, que es ELT, y como mencioné en algún momento de la presentación, que nos va a ayudar mucho también para los exámenes de ascenso y nombramiento. Tiene mucho que ver todo esto que estoy mencionando. Y si quieren conocer de otros cursos, de otros programas, si quieren certificar su inglés, si quieren prepararse para un examen internacional, pueden contactarme. Yo con todo gusto, con todo amor de seguir compartiendo con todos ustedes, mis colegas del Perú y de toda Latinoamérica.
Muchas gracias, estimado Juan. Entonces ya sabemos, vamos a realizar el sorteo de la beca completa y las 2 medias becas para el curso de Foundation in IELTS Exams Preparation. Y con respecto al otro curso, querido Juan, al de Prepare for Cambridge TKT, los módulos que van, que son del 1 al 3, es autoformativo, entiendo yo, por cuánto tiempo les da el acceso. Es importante también decirlo, creo que lo mencionaste, pero igual y lo recalco, porque creo que aquí van a poder hacer un training para los que están haciendo su examen de nombramiento o ascenso. Está súper relacionado, conectado directamente con todo lo que viene en el temario. En realidad es prácticamente casi lo mismo. Entonces creo que es muy bueno. Por eso a mí misma me interesa saber, para ver si también quisiera por ahí participar, como que nos comentes un poquito, Juan, sobre algunas especificaciones más de este curso, de este segundo curso del TKT.
Claro que sí, claro que sí. Gracias por tu pregunta. Son 3 módulos que cubren todo lo que tiene que ver con enseñanza-aprendizaje del inglés. Y realmente, como acabas de mencionar, es literal, todos los temas de ascenso y nombramiento es lo que cubre estos exámenes de la Universidad de Cambridge. Porque para enseñar inglés en cualquier parte del mundo, tienes que acreditar que realmente posees las habilidades y conoces las técnicas y estrategias que se aplican en los procesos de enseñanza-aprendizaje del idioma inglés. Aquí en Perú tenemos los exámenes de ascenso y nombramiento que nos hacen preguntas tipo de, por ejemplo, lo que hemos trabajado hoy, pero hay otros temas también como planeación de sesiones, como vocabulario, cómo generar el que el alumno se enganche en la clase, la motivación, cómo dar feedback a los alumnos, cómo corregir, cuándo corregir. Todos estos temas se abordan en Cambridge TKT. El curso es totalmente asincrónico y les cuento que es inédito, es creado por mí. Es una bonita compilación de material que yo, de toda mi experiencia, he ido recopilando y que también he podido adquirir material oficial de preparación de la Universidad de Cambridge en mi calidad de presentador y consultor de la universidad, para crear un curso muy a la medida de los profesores de todo Latinoamérica. Si tú te vas a preparar para ascenso y para nombramiento, aquí están todos los temas. Y el curso es muy práctico, es 100% asincrónico. En el curso entro yo, hay videos míos donde explico cómo se trabajan los distintos temas. Hay PDFs, hay PowerPoints, hay worksheets y todo el material es descargable. Si hay un PDF y lo quieres guardar en tu máquina, lo descargas. El curso corre en una laptop, una PC de escritorio, en un celular, en una tablet, en una Chromebook. Es muy amigable también. Y el curso, el acceso al curso que yo les doy es un acceso de por vida, no caduca.
Oh, bravo. No lo puedo creer, ¿en serio?
Sí, sí, las 24 horas del día, los 365 días del año. Si algunos profesores que están aquí ahorita en la transmisión en vivo están oyendo, van a dar fe que en cualquiera de mis cursos asincrónicos el acceso es de por vida. Y lo que estoy indicando también es real, de que pueden guardar y grabar todo en su celular, en su computadora. En la misma plataforma hay al final de cada sección una sección de comentarios, donde si ustedes hacen un comentario donde, por ejemplo, me encantó esta parte, de inmediato me llega a mí al celular, me notifica a mi celular. O si ustedes ponen, no entendí esta parte, a mí me notifica y yo como el head trainer o el entrenador, yo les contesto. Todo el tiempo también estoy interactuando con ustedes si ustedes lo desean. Tengo este curso en promoción solo hasta el 29 de febrero. Cada módulo cuesta 190 soles y en total saldría 570 soles. Lo estoy dando los 3 por 190 solo hasta el 19 de febrero. En Facebook me
Pero,
encuentran
marzo,
29 de febrero.
a
Solo hasta el
29 de febrero. Ah, ya, ok,
hasta este
perfecto.
jueves. ¿Sí?
Ya,
En
ya,
Facebook
listo.
me encuentran como Perú Educación Juan Valenzuela y van a encontrar esta oportunidad, esta oferta y todos mis cursos.
Gracias, muchas gracias, Juan. Realmente yo creo que hay dos oportunidades excelentísimas. Vamos a continuar entonces. Ya me está confirmando Mr. Ortega que ya tenemos listo. Entonces, ¿puedes compartir, por favor? O antes de ello, sí, ya estamos para compartir. Querida Mayrita, si estás por ahí, antes de que comparta, Jos, nos puedes invitar para la próxima semana que tenemos. Terminamos esto y ya vamos con el sorteo, teachers.
Sí, Miss. Good evening, everybody. Miss.
Sí, claro que sí, te escucho, querida Mayrita.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to invite you for the next webinar. The guest will be Mr. Manuel Salas and talk about blended learning on Saturday 2nd at 6 p.m. Don't miss it on our YouTube channel. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, dear Mayra. It will be our last session, teachers. Así que vamos a cerrar igual y con broche de oro con una excelente presentación con nuestro querido Manuel Salas. No lo pierdan, por favor. Ahora sí, podemos compartir, puede compartir la pantalla, por favor, Mr. Ortega, para empezar con el sorteo. Y te contamos un poquito, Juan, de cómo va yendo el sorteo. Ya has ingresado toda la data de todos los concursantes que justamente se está viendo ahora en pantalla. A todos los administradores que están presentes, por favor, ayudarnos a seguir con el sorteo. Son exactamente, ¿cuántos registros el día de hoy? 577 maestros que se han conectado a este webinar, querido Juan, que han estado enganchados y vamos entonces a iniciar. Empezamos, ¿les parece bien con las medias becas? ¿Sí? ¿Te parece bien, Juan? Perfecto. Vamos entonces primero con las medias becas. Vamos entonces a ver, nos da la voz, querido David, ¿estás por ahí? Miriam, Mayrita, ¿están por ahí?
I'm here, Miss.
Listo, David, a tu voz, vamos.
I'm here. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go.
Esa es media beca, media beca.
Okay, the winner is Onofre Yauri Delfa or Adelfa.
Onofre, Yauri, Adelfa, ayúdeme Juan, por favor, Miriam, Mayrita, que en el chat debe de escribir que está presente. Por favor, le damos unos segunditos porque ya sabemos que demora un poco.
Yes, we
Debe
have
de
a
escribir.
little delay.
Ajá, en el chat en el live, por favor. Escribamos si está presente.
Let's wait, let's wait.
A ver.
Adelfa, please.
Porque
Adelfa.
si no se va para el agua. ¿Está ahí?
Adelfa, if you don't take this, I'm
No,
gonna
Miss,
take.
no se encuentra.
No se encuentra, entonces, lamentablemente, no nos
Miss
queda
Adelfa,
más
if
que
you don't
decirle bye bye. No está, pasamos al siguiente, rapidito, ¿sí? Ya está el lamento. Y vamos ahora sí con el siguiente. A tu voz, querida Miriam, por favor, para el siguiente, la media beca.
Todos nacemos con un B.
Ok, la siguiente media beca es para... Ay, se borró. Ahí viene el ganador.
Y el nombre es
And the winner is Quevedo Guayguas Rosario Fausta.
Quevedo Guayua Rosario Fausta. Tiene que decir presente, por favor, en el chat en vivo. Si está presente, Quevedo Guayua. En el chat en vivo le vamos a dar unos segunditos para que pueda decir, escribir ahí presente. Si no, pasamos una vez más, porque sí hay gente que está súper conectada y bien activa todavía aquí. Lamentablemente, quienes no están no pueden reclamar. Querida Gloria, espera unos minutos más, vamos a volver a abrir el link. Estate atenta, quédate atenta, vamos a volver a abrir el link para que registren la asistencia si alguno más le faltó, pero en este momento estamos con el sorteo, ¿ya? Pero no te desconectes. A ver, vamos. ¿Y Adelfa Onofre? Sí, no, pero es que Adelfa
Sí,
ya,
está presente
no, pero esa
Adelfa
fue
Onofre. Ah,
anterior, la
no, pero no es
anterior.
la ganadora.
Onofre, Yauri, Adelfa.
Fue la primera,
Ay,
gana.
Onofre. Allá, lo que pasa es que recién, ¿qué dicen? ¿Qué hacemos? Recién acaba de colocar present.
Sí,
Ali Onofre recién acaba de colocar present. ¿Qué hacemos? Sí, escribió. Ahorita acaba de escribir. Como no está presente la maestra Guayua Rosario Quevedo, ¿les parece? ¿Qué les parece? ¿Nos ponemos de acuerdo? Y le entregamos la primera media beca. Juan, ¿estás de acuerdo?
Sí, claro que sí, apareció, sí.
Entonces, un aplauso para ella, por favor, que ya se está ganando nuestra querida Yauri, Adelfa Onofre Yauri. La puedes colocar en la lista de ganadores, querido José, por favor. La colocamos en la lista de ganadores a Onofre Yauri Adelfa porque la habíamos mandado al descanso, no la leíamos. Así que ya tenemos ya nuestra primera media beca. Vamos entonces para la siguiente media beca. Ya está, más bien ya está, más bien para mi Rosario Quevedo Guayua, eso sí, ya quedó al agua porque no la hemos visto, no la hemos visto en el chat, está tratando de ahí ordenar para que no se vea el desorden. Entonces, estamos reconociendo a Miss Onofre para la primera media beca y pasamos a la siguiente. Ahora sí, vamos, let's go. Querido Juan, ¿nos lees el nombre de la ganadora?
Sí, Karina Bravo Ríos. Karina Bravo.
Karina Bravo Ríos. A ver, vamos entonces a ver en el chat. Karina Bravo Ríos, si está presente. Karina Bravo Ríos.
Karina, where are you?
Vamos a ver si la vemos por ahí. ¿Está?
Sí está,
¿Sí
acaba de...
contestó?
Sí, dijo presente. Miss Carolina.
Excelente, excelente.
Sí, sí,
Entonces ya
sí.
tenemos la segunda media beca. Un aplauso para Karina.
Oh,
Karina, ganadora de una media beca para el curso de preparación de IELTS para trainers de Juan Valenzuela. Y vamos ahora por la beca completa, Juan. Tú tienes que dar la suerte, así que a tu voz 3, 2, 1 y vamos con ese sorteo.
3, 2, 1, va.
Y el ganador es varón, tanto que se quejan los teachers varones, nos dicen, Miss, toda la vida las mujeres ganan, miren, la beca completa, espero que esté. Rodolfo Segundo Camisán García, estimado Rodolfo, no me digas por favor que no estás ahí. Rodolfo, ¿está por ahí? Rodolfo García, a ver, leo bien el nombre.
Hay que esperar un poquito, Miss, hay que
Rodolfo
esperar un poquito.
Segundo Camisán García.
Rudolph, Rudolph, Rudolph,
Rudolph, are you there?
Rudolph, the
Esperemos que
red-nosed
sí, por
reindeer.
favor. Si está
Esperemos un
por
poquito.
ahí, nuestro estimado Rodolfo, no sea malo, teacher César Montesinos, dice al agua, al agua.
Rudolph, Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer.
Vamos a esperar unos segunditos más porque realmente, miren, que generalmente sí, pues es cierto, se quejan bastante, pero generalmente suelen salir damas y ahora ha salido un teacher varón, pero no lo vemos por ahí. Parece que lamentablemente la beca completa no se la va a poder entregar, no está aquí.
¿Cómo estás?
Lamentablemente no. Ya esperamos lo suficiente, entonces.
Ok.
Listo. Vamos, Juan, una vez más a tu voz, por favor.
3, 2, 1, va.
Y la ganadora es, esa es una miembro así que siempre participa en nuestra comunidad, Julie Mostacero Ramírez. Querida Julie, yo espero que estés ahí. Julie Mostacero, por favor.
Yo la vi, yo la
Julie,
vi.
Julie. Julie Mostacero, si está por ahí, por favor. Tienes que escribir present, es una beca completa la que te ha tocado, querida Julie. Esperemos que estés. Querido Ángel Nizama, quiere su beca. ¡Ah! Julie, la acabo de leer. ¿Cómo
Oh,
es? Ya está, ya dijo presente, ganadora de la beca
Sí, está
completa.
presente.
Excelente, gracias, Miss Miriam. Muchísimas gracias a todos ustedes que han estado. Quiere el curso y la beca. Están reclamando todos la beca, querido Juan. Por favor, si nos ayudas, Jos, igual voy a compartirte para que puedas fijar mientras tanto el contacto de Juan ahí en el chat de YouTube mientras vamos terminando. Ya podemos entonces, te comparto aquí. Va a quedar fijado para quienes nos están preguntando, por favor, por los datos de contacto de Juan Valenzuela para que puedan hacer las consultas sobre todas las opciones de capacitación que tiene Abilities and Education. Tienen ahí los datos de contacto, va a quedar fijado en el chat mientras nosotros, querida Mayra, Miriam, David, si pueden encender las camaritas, no sean tímidos, espero que sí. Vamos a cerrar el día de hoy con este webinar que ha tenido la presencia del grandioso Juan Valenzuela, que ha compartido un webinar súper activo con la participación de casi 600 maestros conectados que han quedado súper satisfechos. un montón de recursos. Vamos a enviar también la presentación con todos los recursos compartidos por Mr. Valenzuela y además toda la información con respecto a las opciones de capacitación que tiene. Mil gracias, querido Juan, de todo corazón. Realmente yo me imagino todas tus sesiones. He estado en algunas de ellas, he llevado algún curso con él y realmente es así, súper dinámico, así que súper recomendado. Querido Juan, si quisieras unos minutos para despedirte de la audiencia.
Gracias, sí, simplemente agradecerte a ti y a todo tu equipo por la consideración y por la oportunidad de poder compartir con todos ustedes este momento tan hermoso que para mí también significa mucho porque aprendo muchísimo con ustedes y también es una manera de poder compartir mis experiencias pedagógicas y, ¿por qué no?, incluso algunas experiencias de vida. Los quiero mucho, un gran abrazo para todos, han sido una audiencia muy bonita. Un gran abrazo para todos, besos para todos y muchas bendiciones. Espero nos veamos muy pronto.
Muchas gracias, querido Juan. Vamos a volver a invitarte, así que solamente esperamos a volver a tener un sí de tu parte nada más para nuestros siguientes webinars. Ahora sí, decirles por favor, antes de olvidarme, que se está abriendo el Exit Ticket para los que no tuvieron los 10 minutitos para llenarlo porque nos han acompañado hasta el final. Por eso, en agradecimiento, les vamos a abrir 10 minutitos más el Exit Ticket para que puedan obtener la presentación y todos los materiales del webinar. Complétenlo, por favor. Mientras tanto, ya nos vamos despidiendo con ustedes el día de hoy, nuestra queridísima Mayra Ríos, que ha estado presente, administradora de la comunidad, Miriam Córdoba Soto, nuestra querida Miriam, casi fundadora también de la comunidad, muchos años con English Teachers in Perú, David Cuadros, nuestro administrador súper, hiper activo, el más activo de todos, en WhatsApp al menos es el rey en su WhatsApp, un súper líder en el grupo de WhatsApp que está liderando con English Teachers in Perú. Muchas gracias a todos, maestros, que tengan una bonita semana.